Imagine flying to Europe and back twice for just $250, or taking a round the world trip for just $420. Sound too good to be true? Well, it's not, and I'm going to show you these exact itineraries in just a minute here, because with the right system, trips like these are not only possible, they're surprisingly easy to find. And so in this video, I'm going to reveal the dead simple system for unlocking insanely cheap travel, a system that can be broken down into 3 simple steps. Choose the right rewards program, accumulate the most points possible, and redeem those points for maximum value. So if you want to start getting flights for up to 90% off the regular price, let's dive into each of these 3 components, starting with choosing the right rewards program. The best rewards program really comes down to one thing: how much you earn for every dollar you spend. And to determine how much you earn, you first need to know what an individual point is worth. So if we look at 5 of the most popular rewards programs in Canada, this is how much their points are worth. As you can see, it's quite a range. BMO rewards and Scene Plus points are worth less than a penny each, while Avion points, Aventura points, and membership rewards points are worth as much as 3 cents each. But this isn't quite an apples to apples comparison, because if you earn a lot more points with one card than you do with another, then these valuations lose their meaning. So to normalize these numbers, we need to see how much you'd earn from having a similar credit card from each rewards program. To do that, I looked at the card in each rewards program with an annual fee closest to $150, since that's the most popular type of credit card in Canada. Then, using those 5 cards, I dug into the number of points you'd earn on 3 different spending categories: groceries, gas, and everything else. Assuming you spend $500 a month in each of these 3 categories, here's how much you'd earn in rewards from each of the programs, ignoring any welcome bonuses. There are a lot of numbers here, so let me explain what you're seeing. This row shows how many points you'll earn on $500 of grocery spending, which ranges from 500 points on the low end to 2,500 membership rewards points on the high end. The next row shows how many points you'll earn on $500 of gas spending, with 500 points on the low end and 1,000 membership rewards points on the high end. And the next row shows how many points you'll earn on $500 of spending on everything else, with each card paying 1 point per dollar spent, or 500 points in total. Then we've got the total number of points you'll earn per month, multiplied by 12 to get the total number of points earned per year, which gets multiplied by the value per point to get the total rewards value you'll earn per year. And it's really this bottom row that is the important one, because as you can see, you only earn a small amount of rewards from the BMO and Scotiabank programs, a slightly higher amount from the RBC and CIBC programs, and then a much higher amount using membership rewards points from American Express. And this graph makes the difference even more clear, because you're actually earning 5 to 10 times as much from membership rewards as you are from the less rewarding programs, which is wild. So there are 2 lessons I want you to take from this. The first lesson is the obvious one, which is that membership rewards points, or MR points, are clearly the best type of rewards points you can earn in Canada. You earn back a lot more on your spending when you collect MR points, and to be honest, it's not even close. But the second lesson is how much money you're leaving on the table if you're currently using a card from any of these other banks. Because as the table shows, you could be missing out on $1,000 or more per year just because you're using the wrong credit card. That's like throwing away a brand new iPhone every year. So pay attention to this, because if you just commit to one of the 3 options I'm going to share with you in a minute here, you can turn that around and start receiving the equivalent of a free iPhone every single year. So step 1 is done, and now we know that membership rewards from American Express is the best rewards program in Canada. But now we need to move on to step 2, which is accumulating the most points possible. And there are 2 ways to accumulate points quickly: through day-to-day spending and welcome bonuses. So let's look at them one by one, starting with day-to-day spending. The key to maximizing the number of points you earn from your day-to-day spending is to identify the credit card with the highest earn rates on the things you buy. And for 99% of Canadians, that card is going to be the American Express Cobalt card, because with the Cobalt card, as you saw a minute ago, you earn 5 MR points per dollar on groceries and other types of food and drink purchases. So that's grocery stores, plus restaurants, bars, cafes, food deliveries, etc. And because MR points are worth 2 to 3 cents each, when you earn 5 points per dollar, it means you're getting back 10 to 15% on every dollar you spend on food and drinks, which is incredibly high. But that's not all, because the Cobalt card also gives you 3 points per dollar on eligible streaming subscriptions, 2 points per dollar on eligible transit, gas, and travel purchases, and 1 point per dollar on everything else. Plus, on top of all that, the Cobalt card also comes with a welcome bonus of up to 15,000 additional MR points, which are worth another $300 to $450 on their own. So to make all this a bit more concrete, let's assume that you spend the same $500 a month on groceries, and you also spend $250 a month on other food and drinks, which would be things like restaurants and bars and food delivery. If you just move that $750 in monthly spending onto a Cobalt card, you'll earn 5,000 MR points a month from it, 3,750 from earning 5 times the points on your $750 in spending, plus an additional 1,250 points a month from the welcome bonus. And so after a year, you'll have earn 60,000 MR points. 60,000 points is enough for a round trip flight anywhere in Canada or the US, but it's also enough to go to Mexico, the Caribbean, parts of Central and South America, and even Europe round trip. I mean, you can fly round trip to Costa Rica twice and still have points left over. So this is why I say the Cobalt card is so powerful, because just by moving your existing spending onto it, you're getting a flight to Europe in less than a year. And the Cobalt card also comes with a bunch of other perks and benefits, like mobile device insurance, early access to concert and event tickets, and a ton of travel benefits, but I'm not going to get into all those now because it'll just take too long to get through them. Instead, we need to move on to the second method of accumulating a ton of MR points, which is through welcome bonuses. Welcome bonuses are just one more reason Membership Rewards is the best rewards program for Canadians, because American Express is notorious for offering insanely good bonuses. I already told you about the 15,000 points welcome bonus you'll get with the Cobalt card, but I also want to highlight two other cards that offer even more lucrative bonuses so you can see what you're missing out on. The first card is the American Express Gold Rewards card, and the welcome bonus on the Gold card generally sits around 60,000 points. At a value of 2 to 3 cents a point, that means that the welcome bonus alone is worth around $1,200 to $1,800, which is pretty crazy given that the card only costs $250 a year. The Gold card also comes with some pretty nice perks, like a $100 annual travel credit and 4 airport lounge passes a year. But the second card, the American Express Platinum card, is even more impressive, with a welcome bonus that usually sits around 100,000 points. And so at the same value of 2 to 3 cents a point, the welcome bonus on the Platinum card is worth $2,000 to $3,000. And the Platinum card comes with a ton of benefits, including a $200 annual travel credit, a $200 annual dining credit, hotel elite status, and my personal favorite, unlimited airport lounge access. Now, the one big objection people always bring up about American Express cards is that a lot of merchants don't accept them. And that was true in the past, but today, more and more retailers are accepting American Express. And if we just look at grocery stores, which is where I've heard this the most, the grocery chains that do accept Amex include Food Basics, Freshco, Safeway, Sobeys, Whole Foods, Walmart, Foodland, Metro, IGA, Needs, Longo's, Pusateri's, Super C, Save on Foods, and a bunch more. I think you'll be surprised at how many stores do accept Amex today, because it's a lot more than even just a year or two ago. Now, a minute ago, you saw that you'll earn 60,000 points just in the first 12 months by moving your food spending onto a Cobalt card. But if you want to take things to the next level, you can do what the top 1% of Canadian travelers are doing, which is getting a Cobalt card and either a Gold card or a Platinum card as well. Because when you get two cards, you'll end up with somewhere between 120,000 and 160,000 points at your disposal. And with that many points, you can fly virtually anywhere in the world round trip for next to nothing. So with all that in mind, it's time to take action, and you've got 3 options. Option number 1 is beginner mode, which is just to get yourself a Cobalt card. It only takes 2 minutes to apply, almost everyone gets approved, and once you've got your Cobalt card, you'll be earning thousands of points every month, which is enough to get you multiple flights a year. This is the foundation of this strategy, and I only call it beginner mode because absolutely everyone should be capitalizing on this, even if this is your first ever credit card. If you want to take things more seriously though, option number 2 is intermediate mode, which is to get yourself a Cobalt card and a Gold card. Getting these 2 cards means you'll earn MR points a lot faster, and you'll be able to take better trips or take someone along with you. And option number 3, advanced mode, is where things get really interesting, because that's when you get a Cobalt card and a Platinum card. This is by far the fastest, most effective way to earn a ton of points super quickly, and all the people I know who have gone this route are so glad that they did. This is how you go from having 0 points to flying around the world in a matter of months. And the crazy thing is, it's so easy to pull off. The only thing you need to be aware of is that you'll need to spend $10,000 on your Platinum card in the first 3 months to get the full welcome bonus. So if that's not something you can do, then intermediate mode might be a better fit. But that brings up the third and maybe the most important step of our 3-step system, which is how to redeem all the MR points you're about to earn. Because there are a ton of different ways you can redeem your points. You can use them for flights on a bunch of different airlines, for hotel stays at thousands of hotels around the world, and even as a credit on your monthly statement. But I'm only going to focus on redeeming your points for flights with Aeroplan here, because no matter what part of Canada you live in, you'll still be able to use your points with Aeroplan. And to book flights with Aeroplan, all you need to do is transfer your MR points to your Aeroplan account from inside your American Express account. The points transfer at a rate of 1-to-1, so 1 MR point equals 1 Aeroplan point, and it only takes a couple of minutes for them to show up in your Aeroplan account. So now let's take a quick look at a few of the Aeroplan flights you can buy using your MR points. I'm going to assume you went with option number 2 here, intermediate mode, and that you've got 120,000 points at your disposal. If you're in Toronto, 120,000 points is enough for 2 trips to Europe with points to spare. For example, here's a direct round trip flight from Toronto to Copenhagen, Denmark for just 55,300 points plus $119. If you were to buy this exact same round trip flight with cash, it would cost you $1,291, which means your 55,300 points are saving you over $1,000, and in this case, they're worth 2.1 cents a piece. And here's another direct round trip from Toronto to Lisbon for 58,400 points plus $135. Again, if you were to buy this exact same round trip flight with Air Canada, it would cost you $1,635, which means your 58,400 points are saving you $1,500, and they're worth 2.6 cents a piece. And if you don't want to travel alone, you can just book either one of these trips for you and a friend. If you're in Vancouver, you can take a direct round trip flight to Tokyo for 70,000 points and $176. If you were to buy this exact same round trip flight with ANA, it would cost you $2,240, which means your points are saving you over $2,000 this time, and they're worth 2.9 cents a piece. And then you can use your remaining 50,000 points for hotels in Japan or for 2 round trip flights to Mexico, which will cost you 25,000 points each. And if you live in Montreal, how about a round the world trip from Montreal to London to Bangkok to Hong Kong and back to Montreal? You can stay as long as you want in London, Bangkok, and Hong Kong, and the entire trip will cost you just 112,500 points and $420. Booking these flights with cash would cost you over $4,000, which means your MR points are worth more than 3 cents a piece on this trip. And just to put that number in perspective, if your MR points are worth 3 cents each and you earn 5 points per dollar on food and drink purchases, that's like getting back 15 cents on every dollar you spend. So I could go on for hours here showing you all the different trips you can take with your MR points, but instead I'll just say this. This simple system is your ticket to the world. If you've ever wondered how people on social media seem to be traveling all the time, this is it. You don't need to be fabulously wealthy to take multiple overseas trips a year. You just need to know the right system for making it happen. So if you want your friends to look at you and wonder how you're traveling so much, there's just one thing you need to do. Decide which of the 3 paths you're going to take: beginner, intermediate, or advanced, and then take action. If you opt for beginner mode, get yourself a Cobalt card today and move your everyday spending onto it right away. Within 2 to 3 months, you'll have enough points for your first flight, with many more to come after that. If you want to go intermediate, get a Cobalt card and a Gold card. You'll earn points significantly faster, and you'll probably have enough for a round-the-world trip within a year. And if you're ready to go advanced, get a Cobalt card and a Platinum card. You'll earn more points than you ever thought possible, and your new problem won't be how to afford your next trip, but how to get enough vacation days to take it. Now, there is one risk to be aware of. These welcome bonuses can drop at any time, and they often do. That's why I've included links in the description to the best offers currently available, so you can see for yourself if they're still live or if you've already missed your chance. And remember, the only wrong move is to do nothing. Every day you delay is a missed opportunity to take the kind of unforgettable trips most people only dream of. So stop waiting and start turning your expenses into experiences. Put this system in place today, and I'll see you in the sky.